Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm sorry, as I say every single video, life has been absolutely a whirlwind. I'll update y'all on that soon. Between the business, archery, and school, so much is going on. But without further ado, this is story time part 4. Let's get to it. So we left off with me being in the hospital and Ricky seeing me for the first time. Well, fast forward a little bit. My brother and sister-in-law are in Florida. I'm from Chicago. And they're in Florida. The attack happened in Florida. And Courtney and Josh come down. They started GoFundMe. And it raised almost $40,000, which was amazing. The outpour of love and support from everyone was just so humbling, and I appreciate it so much. But yeah, so they started the GoFundMe, and I end up going off to Shirley Ryan Ability Lab in Chicago, where I'm from, in a med flight that cost $356,000 that wasn't covered by my insurance. And even though Courtney and Josh told me that it was, but I rehabbed there for 30 days, and Ricky is there every step of the way, you guys. He is learning with the nurses how to cath me, how to help me with rehab, and he is there learning how to completely take care of me. And Courtney and Josh are nowhere to be found. Well, Ricky was told to keep a journal from one of his therapists, because obviously he had just been through something really traumatic, so keeping a journal was going to help him. Well, my time came to an end at Shirley Ryan. Courtney and Josh were moving some of my stuff to their house, and they were supposed to adapt their house, which they didn't end up doing. And they were moving some of my stuff, and supposedly his journal fell out of the box and landed on a page that said something along the lines of Courtney and Josh stealing the GoFundMe. Well, they get super mad and come back to me and give me an ultimatum of choosing between them and Ricky. And Ricky was respectful and bowed out. He was like, I don't want to come between you and your family. I want to see you get better. And he was just very supportive of the whole thing. Well, like I said, my time came up to an end at Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, and Courtney and Josh were nowhere near ready for me to come home, because they said they were going to help me rehab and I was going to live with them, and we were going to figure it out. And in the meantime, Ricky went back to Florida, because we were in Chicago at the time. And they ended up dumping me off at a nursing home because they weren't ready for me to come home. And I'm at the nursing home. Ricky and I FaceTime for like 12 plus hours a day, because I'm just sitting there and they're not really taking care of me. They're not helping me rehab. It was down the street from Courtney and Josh's house, my brother and sister-in-law. And they picked that nursing home because they wanted me to be closer to them so they could bring my dogs and so they could see me, but they ended up never showing up. Ricky is in Florida at the time, and while I'm still in Chicago, and he's begging to come see me. And I'm just like, no, stay in Florida. Don't worry about this. I'm going to figure it out. I don't want him to have to deal with anything that are going to be repercussions of what happened and my paralysis and everything, because I knew it was going to be a long road. So Ricky begs me to come back. I finally let him come back, and Christmas comes. Ricky is going to head back to Florida at this point. And Courtney and Josh told me that they were going to pick me up around 5 o'clock on Christmas. And I was telling this to Ricky, and Ricky gets so upset. He's like, you're not waking up your first Christmas paralyzed by yourself. And why wouldn't they just pick you up in the morning and y'all can do presents together or whatever? And then, but anyway, so there's a woman that's begging Ricky or not begging Ricky, begging to get onto the flight that Ricky was going to get on. And he ends up giving her his flight and comes back to me. He gets like a $70 Uber. He has the Uber driver stop at Walgreens, and he buys me all of these cute little gifts, and he brings them back to the nursing home for me, and he can't wait. He's still like this. He can't wait until Christmas, so he has me open all of them Christmas Eve. And we spend time together and enjoy our time. Well, Christmas Day comes. Courtney and Josh do end up picking me up, and Ricky ends up just hanging out. And then the day after Christmas, a meeting happens where I'm sitting at a conference table, and there's the head of each department of the nursing home sitting at this conference table, the social worker, the head of physical therapy, nursing, whatever. And then Courtney and Josh are there. Each of them, from left to right, had their chance at attacking me, saying that I was bringing all these guys into the nursing home, that I needed to be on birth control, that I was skipping physical therapy, which wasn't the case. The nurses weren't getting me up for physical therapy. I'm newly paralyzed. I can't get up and get dressed on my own. So, yeah, they were not helping me, and they were leaving me in my poop for long periods of time. It was really, really bad. And then I defend myself, saying that no, that's not the case. Ricky's been the one there helping me get dressed and helping me get to therapy every day. Well, after that conversation, the social worker looks at me and goes, okay, so what are your plans for after? Where are you going to live? And I look at my brother and sister-in-law, and I said, well, I'm going to live with them. They look at each other, look back at me, and they say, no, you're not. That they are wiping their hands of me, they want nothing to do with me, and that they're going to close the GoFundMe so it's not collecting any more donations, and they were going to send it to me, and that was that they didn't want to be a part of my life anymore. And long story short, they end up stealing over half of the GoFundMe. I talked to lawyers, I talked to GoFundMe, I talked to law enforcement. No one will help. No one will do anything about it. But anyway, Ricky ultimately broke us out of the nursing home and brought me back home to Florida. And now I have this amazing community of friends and family, and I'm so very blessed. Ricky and I are in love, and now that trial's over, we're able to enjoy each other and enjoy the life we're trying to build. So January 2020 comes up, and one of my regulars from where I used to work ends up allowing Ricky and I to stay in one of their houses. And then we found All Peoples, we started archery, Ricky started his job, and now life is in a different direction, y'all. And I'm here to tell you that no matter what catastrophe happens in your life, you can overcome, and you can do this. I know you can do this. So I hope y'all enjoyed my story time. I'll fill you in more about archery and what's going on with that a little later. But yeah, thank y'all for coming, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.